So for episode 5, the same stitch. This is the very last episode of The Enemy Within and the very last current episode of the Telltale series and The Enemy Within branch. This is the very last one. The looming threat on Gotham reaches its boiling point, forcing Bruce to decide how far he is willing to go to protect the city from a force that threatens to bring it to its knees. Everything was coming to an end. The pact has been dissolved, partially. Mr. Freeze, Bane, and Catwoman's gone. Well, not dead, but she's gone. Like, we don't know where she's at. She escaped. We have Mr. Freeze and Bane in captivity. And now we have Harley Quinn on the loose, and we have Joker chasing her. And eventually teaming up with her. And this is where John Doe is completely gone. This is not John anymore. This is Joker. And this was the end. This was the big bang. So let's go ahead and check out our choices for the last episode. Let's go. Alright, so we got Jailbird, Harley Quinn. You and 37.6% of players revealed Joker's lie to her. Harley was annoyed she could not make you admit you were part of the pact in front of Tiffany. She loved that Bane was left behind at the convoy raid, allowing her to take control of the pact. Harley generally came to trust you after you exposed Catwoman as the thief of the Riddler's laptop. Harley fell in love with John when he came to her rescue on the bridge. When he revealed Joker's duplicity about the map, Harley fell into a fit of rage. Now, this is basically the end of episode 5. This was kind of like a story recap of our relationship summary that I had with all these characters. And at the end, when things were getting tough and we were about to die, I knew for a fact, the game gave me an option. The game told me to either manipulate Joker and trying to basically have him, you know, be like, hey, don't kill me. And I was like, you know what? I already know he's not gonna listen to me. How much I've done. So the only is to be honest and reveal the truth and tell Harley, hey, he's been backstabbing you this entire time. And I knew if I did that, there will be some kind of chaos between them. And it worked. So yeah, that definitely caught her off guard for sure. I'm glad I did it, and I recommend you guys to do it too. 37% of people did that. I don't know why. It should be more. Obviously, the majority messed up on the last decision. Director of the agency, Amanda Waller. You and 35.6% of players have assurances she won't reveal your secret. So basically, because of our ties with well, not our ties, but with us working with the agency just to find the pact, she has trust that I am a man of my word. I did deliver. Waller was pleased that you endorsed her authority by interrogating Riddler's henchmen to the GCPD. She disapproved of you calling Gordon after your first fight with Bane. Waller was thankful that you maintained your cover with the pact for as long as you could. She was relieved when you tried to apprehend John and Doe and Harley on the Gotham Bridge. After everything you've been through, Waller knows better than to reveal your secret. I sacrificed a lot of people's lives to make sure I get these freaks locked up. I put up a lot of BS just to do this. And she better not reveal my secret, honestly. So yeah, this is something. It's not that it's like a treat. It's something I deserve very well. If anything, I should get like $100 million from the agency because I just did them a favor. I gave them a lot of clues about the Riddler and his gang. I gave them the whole deal, basically. The man, the myth, the legend, Commissioner Jim Gordon. You and 28.6% of players asked Waller to have him reinstated. I don't know why that was so low. I guess people do not want Commissioner Gordon to be commissioner anymore. Because, I mean, I guess they can see him as not being competent or something. But honestly, this man has been through a lot. He needs... yeah, he does need a break, but Gotham, I cannot rest until either the Batman or Gordon is working for Gotham, and one of us has to be there. And later you'll see why I won't be there. But I wanted Commissioner Gordon to be back because he did want to help in the end, but he couldn't because Amanda Waller took his license to be the commissioner, took his role to say. So yeah, Gordon was humbled that you would trust him with your secret association with Lucius Fox. When you interrogated Eli behind his back, Gordon felt betrayed, declaring your partnership over. Despite your recent surprise when you called him after Bane's initial attack. Gordon felt sick that he had demanded you give up Catwoman to GCPD ambush. Having almost betrayed you to Joker, Gordon feels undeserving of being reinstated as commissioner. Now, at the very end, at Ace Chemicals, he revealed not my identity, but he revealed basically me to Joker and basically set me up in a trap. But in exchange, he got a map of all the bomb sites. Joker did this and did not tell Harley at all. This was kind of like the trade-off. If you give me Batman, I'll give you the tool to save the city. And you know what? I was sacrificed, but I was sacrificed for the greater good, and that's basically my code in a nutshell. Yeah, I'm glad he did that, and this is exactly why I wanted him reinstated. He's a good man. He does not get enough credit. And I know he's someone who, we talk about that a lot, but it's true. It's the honest truth, and I believe it, and I stand by it. On the prowl, Catwoman. You and 2.6% of players the way Selina's criminal record. This is probably one of the more lower, unique choices I have ever done. After her return to Gotham, Selina was relieved when you said you thought redemption was possible. After you neglected to warn her about GCPD ambush, Selina fell on edge around you. She was disappointed they rejected her help in cracking Riddler's laptop. Selina felt betrayed when you blamed her for the theft on Riddler's laptop. Now that you had a Waller clear Selina's criminal record, she has the freedom to decide her future. Now, there's a reason why I wanted to clean her record. Look, I know deep down in my heart she wanted to do good, and there was many things she was doing. She was undercover like me, but she got in my way a lot, and she did sabotage me a lot, and I sabotaged her as well. We fought a lot, but in the end, we came together despite all of our differences. If our relationship was bad on this run through and she helped me, I wonder what it would be like if I had the best relationship with her. In fact, I think she probably would have even been like the best sidekick, honestly. But I did not have that. But in the end, she still saved the day anyway. She helped me fight Harley and Joker together. Without her, I don't think I could have done that. And I know she is kind of like a criminal, but you know what? This is probably one of those things. Using my power through the agency and using my power as Bruce Wayne, I can do it. She knew who I was. And I was like, you know what? She doesn't have to talk to me anymore. Let's just clean her record. And she has the opportunity to start over if she likes. I am utterly sorry about everything. Now, fugitive Tiffany Fox. You and 7.5% of players tried to bring Tiffany to justice. Tiffany felt betrayed when you admitted your involvement in Lucius's death. She was confused when you refused to admit your allegiance with Harley at her father's lab. After she realized you were working with the agency, she regretted calling the GCPD on you. She was first confused, but then completely blown away when you told her you were Batman. Now, Tiffany is a fugitive from justice after you tried to take her in for Riddler's murder. Now, look, I wanted her on my side at the beginning, okay? And I've always wanted that. She was always family to me. And I told her I had a code, and she understood my code. I told her, you have to turn yourself in. You have to let me take you in. That was my code, and she understood that. She gets it completely. But she will not let me take her in without a fight. I kind of respect that, because she, in the next game, she could be a potential villain. But you know, she gets me. She's not really mad at me, but she will not, you know, go away without a fight. But I couldn't just say, oh yeah, it's okay, another murderer gets off, you know, scot-free. I couldn't let that happen. And I know that's kind of Lucius is probably rolling his grave right now, but if I talk to him, maybe he'd understand. I have no idea. I really don't. We got now for Wayne Enterprises, Iman and Vesta. You and 27.5% of players got Waller to agree you'd give her a job. Vesta was traumatized by Riddler's game and the loss of her hearing. She was apologetic when you chastised her for revealing her secret identity with Waller. Vesta was worried when John Doe refused your help finding Harley after she escaped Sanctus. Though he told her it wasn't her fault, she felt conflicted about her role in creating Joker. She left the agency and is now overjoyed that she's joining Wayne Enterprises. Now, she never liked the agency to begin with, just like me. She knew that, well, she didn't know, but she was very, very, very unsure that what they were going to do with the Sanctus attack, and she did not want to stick around for that. So I was like, you know what? Basically, you know what, Avesta, I put you through a lot of trouble, but you trust me. Do you want to work for me? Do you not want to be with the agency anymore? I gave her the business opportunity, and she took it. And she is a good person. She is. She's very smart, and I feel horrible. I put her through. That I sacrificed her in the beginning. I feel horrible, and it's the least I can do. And this is the man right here, Pennyworth. You and 36.3% of players gave up the mantle of the Batman. After he watched the footage of Lucius's violent demise, Alfred was filled with a vengeance. When Secret Alfred was relieved, he no longer had to keep it from her. In the Batcave, Alfred felt reassured when he agreed that he needed a vacation. His outlook on Batman's influence darkened after John became the villainous Joker. When he decided to give up the cowl, Alfred became cautiously optimistic about your shared future. Now, like I say many times, he is family to me, and no matter what, will make sure he feels safe, and I do not want to lose him. And even if it came down to it, it did come down to it, where I had to give up the role as being the Batman. He told me, if you continue down this path, you will not do any more good. You will just be like your father, trying to fight the darkness, but forgetting that you're inside the darkness as yourself. Basically, the Batman is not good fighting bad stuff, and you hence become bad while you're fighting bad. It's like a weird paradox kind of thing. So he said, continue being the Batman. You can if you want, but I'm not going to be around to see it. Or if you want me to stay, you have to give it up. And it was a hard decision, but it didn't take me long to think about it, because my heart knew what I wanted, and I wanted him to stick around. And I realized, yeah, maybe it wasn't smart to do that, because, oh, what happens if there's crime in Gotham, blah, 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 blah. Look, I got Gordon reinstated. He could take care of the city. I know he can. He's the right person to do it. And besides, if it ever comes down to it, him and I will talk about it and see what he wants to do from there. But for now, I think I need a break too, and he does as well. So, I mean, I could have let him go, but I didn't want to actually see him go. And this is my best enemy, John Doe. You and 31% of players agreed the two of you had good times. We did. We had good times. John was annoyed when you blew him off at Lucius's funeral, refusing to meet his friends. He was proud that he brought you into the pact, resulting in a successful raid on the agency convoy. John was grateful that you took his advice and blamed Catwoman for stealing Riddler's laptop. When you betrayed his trust, John realized his full potential as the villainous Joker. While he appreciated that you shared some good times, Joker showed it with a knife to the gut. Now, I drove John off a cliff of emotions, and it's my fault. I can't even say this is his fault. He was somebody who struggled to fit in this new world outside of Arkham, and he found a new group of friends, and they were having a splendid time, and I used him. I used him. I manipulated him, and that drove him insane. And he was already insane to begin with, but I made him more insane than he already was. And I twisted and I bent his heart, and now it's just like this weird relationship of, you know, he doesn't trust me, he hates me, but he loves me at the same time. This is basically the traditional icon of Joker, basically John Doe, like this weird Joker version of John Doe or something. I don't even know what to call it. He is my best enemy out of Penguin, Two-Face, Mr. Freeze. Wouldn't even really fight Mr. Freeze, but Harley Quinn, out of every, Joker was the best one, and I'm not really surprised by that. See the decision here. Did you shake hands with Joker? You and 64.8% of players refused to shake hands with Joker. Look, it was the beginning. He just interrupted my great minion Wayne Enterprises, and I wasn't sure what was gonna happen, and I didn't want to be seen in public as Bruce Wayne shaking the hand of someone like that. And I know it's kind of mean saying that out loud, but it's the truth. I was undercover, and I did not want to be seen doing this. The majority of people agreed with me. Did Gordon betray you? You and 76.7% of players heard Gordon back out of the deal with Joker. Now, we heard it over the phone briefly. We knew Gordon didn't want to do it, but we agreed to it anyway because, you know, we did not want Gordon's life to be, you know, we didn't want to lose him, basically. And I just agreed. I got punched and I got kicked and I got hurt badly. But you know what? I just saved like thousands of lives because we got the locations of all the bombs and we stopped them. So thanks to me and Gordon, we saved everybody. But we took a beating though. Oh yeah, and Gordon lost his kneecaps too. That's the thing. I forgot all about that, honestly. Majority of people agree with me on this one. Did you determine the fate of others with Waller? You, 95% of other players had a Waller user influence. Obviously, it was like, you know, one of the last minute things. What can we do to make things right? Most people, you know, had other plans to do as well. 5% of people, I don't know what they would have, I don't know why they didn't want to do. Maybe because they didn't want to have any kind of connections with Agent Senior, they didn't want to use their power. I get that, I do, but it was my last opportunity to make things right, and I was like, you know what, I might as well just use it, might as well. And I cleaned Catwoman's record, so I think that was the best thing I've done. Did you give up the cows so Alfred would stay? You and 36.3% of players told Alfred you would give up being Batman. I told him I would do it for him because he's family. And as you can see in the background, we have Thomas, we have Martha, and we have young Brucey boy. And he was the only man I had left as actual real family. Well, not like real blood family, you get what I mean. He was the butler of my father, and he raised me ever since they were gone, and didn't go. And if time came by, I would use the Batman. But for now, we have GCPD, and I trust that they'll be fine. 5.7% of players refused to hear Alfred's last words. I don't know how they could, but I guess it would have been too emotional to hear what he had to say. But just in case if something did happen, I wouldn't want to leave it on that. I do want to hear his last words. I do want to hear what he has to say, because he means the world to me. 58% of players chose to never give up being Batman. The majority, those people, these people who chose that, they understand the importance of Batman. He is important. They understand it. They were not swayed by Alfred's persuasion, but I don't think I have the heart to do that. Well, I didn't want to do that in this run through, at least. Maybe next run through I'll be cruel or something. But I didn't want to do that this time. Alfred's family. Those are my last words right there. Which Joker did you defeat? You and 44.9% of players defeated villain Joker. Now, I don't know what other Joker there was. If you do know, please tell me down in the comments, because I honestly have no idea. But I guess I defeated villain Joker, which is cool. Kind of a 50-50 almost. So this was the minority decision. I wonder what the other one was. And this is the summary of the decisions. We have 64.8% players refused to do a handshake. 76.7% of players heard Gordon back out the deal. 95% of players had Waller user influence. 36.3% of players told Alfred I would give up Batman for him, and 44.9% of players defeated villain Joker. It's basically 3 out of 5 majority. The last 2 ones are the more unique ones for this episode. Oh yeah, and I forgot, we also have pictures we collected throughout this entire journey as going with John. We have 1 picture, 2, 3, I didn't smile there, I'm angry, 4 pictures. Not bad. Man, Joker was sad in that one. I didn't smile much. Maybe I should have smiled. Maybe next time I'll smile. Well, that one I did smile. Okay, so those were all the choices I did for episode 5, and this is the very end of Batman, the Enemy Within. If you did like this video, please tell me down in the comments, because I put a lot of time doing all these audio dubs, and I'm very tired. But seriously, this was a great game, and hopefully they make another one. And again, if you watched the whole thing and you wanted to play, sorry for the spoilers, but if you want, you can go ahead, take my advice, and do the other options. I've never played a second run through, so I'm just guessing. Like, all the things I could have said, like, oh, the other option was this, I really don't know, because I haven't played it. I'm just speculating. I'm just using my knowledge of what I did and assuming the things I didn't do. So again, if you like this, these kind of videos I did for the first part, and now this is the second video, if you like this, please tell me, please, because I put up a lot of work for this. And yeah, hope you guys stay out there, stay safe in Gotham.